Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to another movie review. Today I'm gonna be reviewing Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings, and as usual I'm quickly gonna go through the story of this movie to tell you in short what this movie is all about. Then I'm gonna share my own opinions and thoughts about this movie, so in case you didn't watch it, one big spoiler alert across the screen, and yeah, just click away from this video and come back after you watch a movie if you want to, guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to, it's totally fine. But if you really are interested in my opinions and thoughts about this movie right now, then stay with me till the end of this video and let's get started. Alright guys, Shang-Chi and the Legend of Ten Rings is a movie that's been released this year, and it's yet another Marvel movie from Marvel comic books. And the story of this movie starts off by showing you story of Xu Wenwu, which is a master of these 10 rings that gives him special powers and immortality. Movie doesn't really explain how he obtained those rings. It says that they were gift from maybe gods, or that he stole them from some ancient tomb. But as long as he has those rings, he is literally unstoppable and immortal, and he can't die. He's been alive for thousands of years, and as the movie goes on, it shows his side of the story and story about these 10 rings and how he fell in love with this woman and this special place that is like some sort of different like universe. It's not really part of Earth. So he fell in love with her, and they got kids, and that's where the movie shows you that he raised those kids into assassins. And that's where movie cuts off to present day, where you follow Shang-Chi, which is son of Xu Wenwu, and he is trying to live a normal life. You know, he and his best friend Caddy are working as those people who drive other people's cars in the garage in front of hotel, and you know, they're just trying to live a normal life and, you know, get their monthly pay. And all that changes when one day they get on a bus and a bunch of guys comes to them. Actually, they approach Shang-Chi, and they ask him for the necklace, and the necklace is actually a gift from his mother. So they need that necklace desperately, and they pick a fight with him. And what they didn't know is that he's a trained assassin, so he beats the crap out of them. And then he realizes that these people that try to kill him and take that necklace are actually like soldiers of Ten Rings organization, which are actually led and sent by his father. Later in the movie, he discovers the story how he ran away from his father, and he sent him on first mission when he was 14, I think, to kill someone, to assassinate him. And he did it, and he ran away from his father, and since then he's been living on his own. And once they take his necklace in that bus fight, he realizes that they will go after his sister. So he travels to this place where he thinks he'll find his sister, and he does find her. She is also living pretty dangerous life. She made like kingdom of her own, where she owns this big fight club that is of course illegal, and that's how she makes money. She's also a trained assassin, just like her brother, and she fights in this fight club for money, and other people come to fight or pay for fights and put bets on them and all kind of stuff. So Shang-Chi ends up in ring with her. They have a fight, and then after that they just talk to each other. Shang-Chi explains why he came to find her after all these years, and that's where again Ten Rings organization, whatever you want to call them, comes after them and tries to take her necklace as well. So they end up fighting them, but in the end their father shows up and takes them back to that place where they were raised into assassins as kids. And from that point on, like movie takes completely other direction. Story changes a lot because he explains them why he needed those necklaces, because they open a map to the place where he met their mother. Now their mother died, unfortunately. She's dead. She got killed by the mobsters, and their father couldn't stop him because at the time when he was living with her and raising them, he wasn't wearing those rings at all. So he didn't have any powers or anything. So he didn't stop these guys, and they came to his home and killed his wife, and children survived, but she died. And those necklaces that she gave them, they open a map to the place of like her village where Xu, what was his name again? Xu Wenwu, yeah. He has a really weird name, so it's kind of hard to remember it. Anyway, Xu Wenwu thinks that her people are keeping her locked up in that village where she's from, in that other dimension, and that she's somehow alive, and he says that he can hear her voice calling for help. While Shang-Chi doesn't believe him, he says to him that his wife and their mother is dead, that what he's hearing is not real, and that's where Xu Wenwu kind of goes crazy and says that he wants them to join him into that raid of that village. They want to attack that village and free his wife and their mother. And Shang-Chi doesn't agree with that. He doesn't want to kill all these innocent people and do these horrible things. So he decides to take his friend Caddy, that was with him this whole time, and his sister, and then there is this another guy that is some sort of an actor or something. He's just like a clown, you know, in the movie. He's just there for fun. And he's imprisoned by Xu Wenwu. So they all escape with the help of this little creature, Morris, I think it's called. I don't know what that thing is, but it's like a little fluffy dragon or something that is also from that dimension. And he takes them inside that dimension, that village, before their father can make their way there. And that's where they run into even a bigger threat. There is this door, and behind that door is a great evil that is trapped there. And people from that magical village fought that evil years ago and locked it up. So as long as those doors are not broken, they're safe. And of course, their father comes along with them and fights against them, and he starts breaking these doors because that's where he hears the voice of his wife coming from. And that's actually not a voice of his wife because she's dead, but that evil is actually what knows that the power of these rings can free them. And he starts taking down these doors and releasing that evil, and in the end, like, the huge fucking dragon, which is that evil, comes out of that door, and they all join forces in the end to fight that evil. And Xu Wenwu ends up as a good guy in the end. Actually, he sacrifices himself to fight the evil and save his children. And in short, that's what happens in this movie. I said in short while I talked like 9 minutes about the story of this movie, because holy shit, man, this movie has a lot of fucking shit going on. This is a pretty long damn movie. It lasts for like 2 hours, over 2 hours, and there is a lot of stuff going on in those 2 hours. And man, this movie is really good. Now, I've seen hundreds of memes around the internet about this movie, and those memes are not making fun of this movie. Those memes are actually showing how good this movie is. So I was like, yeah, I have to finally watch this movie. So I decided to watch it a week or two ago, and I was not disappointed. This was a really good quality Marvel movie in a long time. After, I would say, Avengers, this felt similar to that, it was a lot of action, a lot of good story, a lot of high quality characters, and a lot of good CGI. And I really liked all the things that were going on in the movie. Choreography is phenomenal in this movie. All the fight scenes and everything, you can see everything clearly. Camera is so steady, so you can follow up everything that's going on, and all that is just mixed with a bunch of cool slow-mo and cool effects and all that. It's extremely fun movie to watch, and in the same time it has great characters and story. And damn, I really enjoyed this movie. It's really good, just like those memes around the internet said. So if you're a fan of like fantasy and action and Marvel in general, and maybe if you read about the Shang-Chi in the comics, you should definitely watch the movie. You're not gonna get disappointed. There is a lot to see about this movie, and there is a lot of very good and very well planned and organized plot twists that happen in this movie. And there are even some characters from some other Marvel movies showing up in this movie, like Wong from Doctor Strange. And I think that actually in the end there is like behind the scenes, like usually like it is with every Marvel movie, he brings those rings, Shang-Chi brings those 10 rings to the Avengers, and they start inspecting them, and they say that there's something very special. So what I think that this movie could be is like a whole new patch to the Marvel universe. I think this is gonna be like whole new chapter of Marvel movies and Marvel characters. It all started with like Iron Man and Captain America, and then we met all these other great characters, and they all team up in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Now, what I think is gonna happen is that like Shang-Chi is gonna be like the main movie, and those rings are gonna be something very important later in the Marvel movies. And I think it's gonna be yet another great chapter for Marvel movies. And I think this movie was a great start. And I actually can't wait to see where this goes, where this entire universe and story with those rings is gonna go through the other Marvel movies and characters, how it's all gonna unwrap. It's gonna be really interesting to see all that, and this movie has a great potential like for that to start a whole new chapter, which I think is gonna happen. I really also liked how the characters bonded through the movie, and what I especially liked is like that plot where the villain turns out as a good guy in the end, and bad guys join with the good guys once they realize there's a greater evil. So they all kind of turn out good in the end, even though they were really bad for the majority of the movie. But it turns out all fine in the end, and it's really all well wrapped up. It's not a shitty team up, bad guys with good guys. It's actually really good team up with a good reason and with the feelings. You can actually feel them, all the characters, all the bond, all the connections. You can feel the story of this movie the way it's meant to be felt. And that's what I probably like the most about this movie. It's a great movie. So yeah, that's it. I think I said everything I wanted about this movie. If you enjoyed this movie review, then go ahead and leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe if you want to, guys. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's totally fine. You can also join my Chris Facebook group. Link is down below in the description. So join if you want. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I post all kind of stuff over there. So yeah, once again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of your support and everything you've done for me and my channel so far. You're amazing, guys. I love you, and I'll definitely see you in the next videos. Chris out.